Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go, folks. Great. That's it. 180. Great. 80.
Now Newton on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Gun. Hey. Do something.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Great. 20.
Second and 10, Newton again. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On 1st down, Newton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Back to throw here. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Now back to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Detroit! 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 Gone! 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 Hot! Hot!
They'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. JTthaBoss's brings him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Over the middle to Smith. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, if you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Gun! Set! Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The Saints on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll run it with Kamara, and he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
And the Panthers coming out now. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 38. A shotgun snap for Newton. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Newton. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, I tell you, you can't fault the pass protection here. He had all day to throw, and he just couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. And quarterbacks will tell you that after a while, they start getting antsy back there. So this is just a great job defensively to stay with these receivers as long as they did.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll begin the drive with Howard. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Gone! All right, now, look at 56.
Back to throw. The open man is Smith. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Set. 3-19. 3-19. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Detroit. Detroit. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's caught left side by Jake Bunt. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A give. This is Kamara. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Defensively, maybe a little too fired up there for a 3rd down stop.
Remember in preseason when we were going to camps and watching people, they worked on this, right? In the heat of the summer. Still did it anyway.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. He's going to get it running right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. To throw is Newton. And this is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. A big play there just before halftime. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Steps away to his left. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Brendan Langley picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Back to throw now on first down. Dancing to his left. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll set up a throw. And this will be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 12. And this one will be brought back to the 22. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And fights through one man. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On first down, it's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down. From the 50, Newton. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Here we go.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
That's right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers have tied this game up. They can take the lead with the extra point. Lutz with the extra point. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Lutz now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A 10th carry for Kamara. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gone! Detroit!
Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Gone! Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Over!
He'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Lucky 56. Gone! Hot!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A pressure spot now for a guy who's been here before, and that's Stephen Hauschka. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now it's Newton. He'll buy some time right. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ken Crowley, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
3-19! Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being checked, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
To throw on second down is Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Out of the gun, Newton escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hey! Right to the 3. Right to the 3. Gun.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. And Thomas has it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in the 4th. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Gone!
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Buying time, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Gone!
They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Now a handoff working right. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get him in the end zone. They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Brendan Langley picks him, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Panthers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.
woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you when no, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut. Mayday, bubbles and these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock.